Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back. And today I'm going to bring back a fairly old procedure or technique. It's called imvertage. Now don't worry about the name of it. If you've never heard of it before, I'm not surprised. But it used to be done quite a long time ago and it's not that difficult. So I'm going to bring that back and show you how to do it. Now you need an image for this, obviously. So you can use any image you like, but it needs to be a picture rather than a pattern. So I've just nicked this off of another Christmas card from last year and I've enlarged it. Well, the way it's come out, it should have been 5x7, but it's actually 6x7, but that doesn't matter. This process will work on any size card. It'll even work on round circular cards, but obviously you'd need to cut it differently. But we're going to do it on this one. Any rectangular or square card I would say would be the easiest. And the process is the same regardless of the size of card. So this is my picture. And I've already put it onto my card base and I'm going to show you how we build this up. And I'm going to, well, first of all, I'm going to slide this to one side and I'm going to bring in a piece of card. This isn't the actual card that we're going to use, but this is what would be the back. And what you need to do, you need to find the centre of the back of the first mat. And to do that, what you do is you take a ruler, or what I do anyway. You take a ruler and a pencil. This won't be seen. This is all on the back. It won't be seen, so don't worry about it being seen. And you put your ruler and line it up so that it measures, well, you don't have to measure it, but so that it lines up with the corners. And you draw a line like that, and then you do the same, as you can see, I've already done it, to the opposite one. So you join up the corners. You do like a cross or an X. And then for this first mat, I'm going to do a 1-inch square. And to do that, where that middle part, where that cross is, that is now the centre of our card. So I'm going to put the ruler the right way around because I'm doing it in inches. So at the 1/2 inch point, I'm going to put that right on the point, the 1/2 inch mark, right on the cross part where it meets in the middle. And I'm going to put, and I have put marks all the way around like that. Then what we do, we measure it that way. I'm sure you get the message by now. And you do that all the way around and you draw a square right in the middle. And if you can find a pair of scissors handy, what you do next is, I would say, just pierce a hole in one corner like that. There's nothing on the outside, on the other side of this one. This is just a dummy one, if you like, just to show you how to do it. And then you cut it out like this. So I need to show you what to do for the next one. I've used 3 mats. You can use however many you like. But obviously if you use too many, they're going to be very bulky. And we're just going to cut this out. You can use a craft knife if you like, but I find using a craft knife in the middle of a piece of paper or card quite difficult. So I'm going to use my scissors. So I really need to sharpen these scissors because they've been used so much. So we won't be long. We're going to cut that out because what we're going to do now, we're going to keep this bit for a minute. So pop that to one side, and what we do for our next mat is we bring that in and we do exactly the same. We put our X and then we line that up like that, put that first square on top of there like that until the lines marry up, so it looks like a, oops, I've got glue on my fingers, so that's why that moved. But when it's lined up like that, you take your pencil, you draw around it like that, and so try and keep one finger on. It might mean you have to swap hands, but that's not too difficult, hopefully. And then this time I'm only going to do 1/2 inch. So you put your 1/2 inch line there, and again you do this all the way around and round here like that. And obviously that one there. And then what you would do, you would line it up like that, put your ruler there, and again you're going to, it doesn't matter if the lines cross because they're not going to be seen. In fact, those ones have crossed, but that doesn't matter because this inner part is the only bit that's important. And then once you've done that, you cut that out again. And then you'll do that one more time on your third mat, but we won't do that now. I'm going to put all this to one side and I'm going to bring in my first one. I'll show you what I mean. So once you've done that on your real one, so to speak, you've got your cross in the middle, you've got your cross, you've got your centre point, you've drawn around it, and then all you do, I've already cut this out just to save some time, and we've cut it out. So I'm going to save that, and to spare you having to watch me take all this backing tape off, I'm using foam tape to put this together. Because it's a pyramage, no it's not, it's an invertage, pyramage is the other way around, beg your pardon. We need it to have a bit of depth, which is why we're having it with a fold at the top, because it won't, otherwise if we had it that way, it might collapse. So that's why we're having it that way. So what we do now, you can just flat glue this, but as it's going to be looking into the image, it's quite nice to have it with a bit of dimension. So what you do is you line it up until the picture marries up so that the picture is correct, and then you press it down like that, and then you take your next piece and you do exactly the same thing again. I'll just move that up. So this time this is 1/2 inch bigger. You can see my 1/2 inch gap there. Pop that out there, move that to one side, bring our card back, turn it over, do make sure you get it the right way around, and again we line up the picture so that it matches. So we're keeping our picture intact all the time. So we're going to just pop that down like that. And I have got one more, which I've done in exactly the same way. So let me just pop that to one side for just a second. So again, I've done 1/2 inch bigger again, and I've taken that out. Now you can, if you want to, keep these bits and make a gift tag of them, but we'll do that perhaps another time. And again, we're going to line it up, but this one's got Christmas greeting on it. So what we need to do is make sure we marry up the writing so that you can actually read the greeting, which is always a good idea. So once you've done all of that, that's why it's called an imvertage, because you're looking in. If it was called a pyramage, you just cut these out in square blocks. In fact, I'll show you. If you're doing a pyramage, you'd have it like that. Like that. In fact, you'd still marry up the picture, but you'd be putting them on top rather than having them going in. And they would go on top like that, obviously with foam underneath. So we're going to leave that to one side for the time being, and we're going to focus on this because this is our card finish, folks, and it stands up very nicely, as you can see. I'll just rock it backwards so that you can see it a little bit. And this is our imvertage Christmas card. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you've never heard of the term, or perhaps if you're a bit older like me and you've heard of it but haven't seen it for a long time, I hope you have a go at it. Whether you've seen it or heard of it or not, I do hope that you have a go at these imvertage cards, because they really are good fun, and as you can see, they're very effective. If you wanted to just ink around the edge of these, you can, but I've decided not to. I've decided to keep it like this. So I hope you've enjoyed that and found it useful. And when you come back next time, I am going to be starting my A to Z of Christmas. So we'll have 26 projects, if you can believe that, between now and Christmas, and we will get them all in. And there'll be one for every letter of the alphabet. And if you want to find out what I'm going to do for what some people have called the awkward letters, like the Q and the X and the Z, stay subscribed to this channel. Or if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and hit that notification, and you'll find out what I'm going to be doing for all of the letters of the alphabet. So when you come back, we'll be starting our A to Z of Christmas, and we'll be starting with A, naturally. So if you want to know what I've chosen for A, I've changed my mind about 3 times. It was going to be antlers, but I've changed my mind about that, and it's going to be something else now. So pop back next time and find out what I'm going to be doing for the letter A of our A to Z of Christmas. So until then, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, everybody. Have fun and happy crafting. Bye-bye for now.